Hello, victorious ones. I am back. Okay, so yesterday I put out a video of how you can recover from a burnout, and later on I went to work, and honey, a lot of my coworkers approached me about just feeling physically exhausted and just tired. Oh my gosh, like, people are really out here tired, beyond exhausted. And it's going to hurt, but there's going to be things that we're going to have to say no to. And one of the biggest things is what you do on your free time. During your free time, just take a whole month and just say no to people. You love them, but just tell them, hey, I need a recharge. I need to recharge. I need to refuel. I need to replenish. I need some rejuvenation, love. Because I can't operate right now. Okay? So what's really important, one thing that God was speaking to me on my heart is about burnouts. So one thing that I like to do to rejuvenate myself from a burnout, I like to spend time in nature, and I like going plant shopping. And for many years, I always admired orchids, and I never purchased one. And the guy that was there helping me, he was just like, you know what? Get a baby orchid and see how you do with that. I know that I'm not supposed to water it as much, but this is the one that I got. And yeah, I have a plant app that I use to give me directions on how to take care of my plants. So this is one of the plants that I do have in here in my sunroom that I am remodeling. I'm going to show a before and after photo. So I usually like to move fast when I'm doing projects, but with this particular project, I'm literally taking my time and really paying attention to my space, because this is going to be my serenity room. I'm going to put some Bible scriptures up here. I do have across the way, and I have this beautiful picture that my mom bought me with a golden frame, and the Bible was opened up, and it's the book of Songs. And so that's one of the ways that I really like to reconnect. Reconnecting with nature is such a beautiful thing. So make sure that your kids are spending some time out in nature, and spend some time with them out in nature. Take them to the park, go for a walk. I know last year and the year before, I really took my son on a lot of morning walks. We really enjoyed our morning walks, and he really enjoyed them too. We said prayers, we laughed, we stopped, and just admire nature. You know, I'll tell him, look up, there's an airplane, or what color's the sky, what color are these leaves, what color are these flowers, and oh, look at that UPS, look at this FedEx truck, like, oh, he's gonna deliver some packages. Just conversing and connecting and slowing down. I know that in this day and time, we are, not all of us, but the majority of us are living from paycheck to paycheck. Some of us are blessed and got it made, and some of us are just so blessed that we can be generous to others. And anxiety starts to seep in, and one thing's for sure, and God said, be anxious for nothing. God said, don't be anxious for anything. Don't be anxious for nothing. He got us. So whenever you feel yourself being anxious, take a moment, inhale, and exhale. Take a moment. Take a deep breath. Take a bubble bath. Disconnect. You don't have to answer every phone call. You don't have to respond to every notification or text message. Just take your time and decompress. And if you are a family where y'all have a lot of electronics, cut back on electronics that your kids are using, because electronics actually causes a lot of delay in us. So that's why a lot of teenagers are moving super slow when they're going to the kitchen to get you something or going to the room to do a task. They move really slow because it's not really that interesting. Now, getting on your phone, going on social media, looking at billions and trillions of things online is interesting. But electronics delays the body and the mind. I think that electronics to kids and babies is like marijuana to adults. Like, it delays you. So try not to get frustrated and realize this is what's happening. Like, my baby is being delayed because of electronics. Now, too much electronics. Now, make sure it's something that's stimulating. Like with my son, when he watches TV, it's something that's learning, something that's biblical, and not too much of it. So some of the signs that your kid will have a burnout, they can be irritable, really irritable, and you can just be looking at them like, what's going on? Or you can get upset like, why are you all irritated? Don't be getting an attitude, but slow down. Like, there's a reason behind every behavioral response. Anxiety. They can feel really anxious. Some signs of anxiety with kids is that they'll pull at their eyelashes. I actually had a friend that I grew up with that she pulled out all of her eyelashes, and I thought that it was so crazy, but I didn't realize what was really going on. Biting your nails. Even adults bite their nails. Constantly, tapping your foot, or just gotta move your hands, or just gotta keep moving around, and just rushing someone, and you just gotta get this done, or you just gotta go, gotta do this. You just can't focus and relax. You're talking really fast. Another sign is social isolation. One thing that I've noticed in some of my family members is social isolation, and my gosh, there's a lot of kids that's doing this. We have to be the ones to step up as adults and start the conversations, and also be genuine and create a safe space without judgment. We cannot want our kids to want to be comfortable with us when we're constantly ready to correct, constantly ready to judge. But sometimes our kids just want us to listen. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to simply, just like in a relationship, you're going to talk it out and allow yourself to process and say, you know what, let's process this and let's put God in this. Matter of fact, let's pray about it tonight. And end the night, I love you, everything's going to be all right. We're going to wake up tomorrow, it's going to be a new day, and God's going to show us an answer to this problem. Depression is another sign. Changing of eating habits and sleeping patterns is another sign. Behavioral problems is another sign too. I know a lot of times kids, especially toddlers, would just, if they want your attention, they would spill stuff, throw stuff, like to grab your attention. Exhaustion, like waking up feeling tired, just always feeling tired and sluggish is another sign. Declining in academic performance is another sign as well. And it's so important to have it's so important to get someone that you can talk to help guide you, a therapist to help guide you in parenting. I remember experiencing burnouts as well. It was mostly mental burnouts because I was just going through so much trauma, and my academic performance was declining. And I remember I almost failed history class, and my complaint was the teacher. We come to the realization, one of my good friends back then, he's Japanese, and God bless him, because I was just amazed at how I passed my exam. I only missed one question. Like, what? And I do believe that if and when trauma is treated and we really pay close attention to our kids, we will be so surprised and shocked how bright they are. I do believe even the kids that have a speech impediment, because I used to have a speech impediment, honey, and guess what? I have my moments. I'm not perfect, but God is so good. I could have turned down rapping and singing. I could have turned down doing this. It was really, I have moments I felt discouraged to come onto YouTube and speak. So one thing I have to say is kids that have certain flaws, encourage them. You would be so surprised how they would turn out. Okay? And God really uses a lot of people that have speaking jobs and go around and do speaking engagements. A lot of these people, even pastors, a lot of these people had speech impediments. Okay? Because God wanted to show people that he gets all the glory. Like, look what he about to do. Look what she's about to do. So what are we going to do to help our kids to not experience burnouts or even help treat their burnouts? So I know that when I worked on a project, I was going in for 9 hours and my mom was like, what are you doing? Like, did you eat? And my mind was so flooded, I just had to shut everybody out because I had to get all the information on paper. I was like, no, don't bother me. I have to keep going. But guess what? I got a burnout. And when it was time for me to continue on to the next step from the aftermath of the project, I was burnt out. So it's so important to make sure that our kids have shorter work sessions. So one thing that I really struggle with growing up with is routine. Enforcing a daily routine is so important because it helps with the stress levels with kids and adults. Like, also, it's important to not be too hard on your kids. Like, set the expectations, but give them some grace, okay? Like, we give ourselves grace all the time, you know? And if you don't, give yourself some grace. If you wasn't able to tackle a task, if you wasn't able to put away those clothes because you was about to tip over, you so tired, like, give yourself some grace. Also give your kids some grace, because it's so important for them to give themselves grace, because they will not be able to go throughout life and enjoy it. So one thing that I also worked on myself with, honey, look, I'm checking myself as an adult and as a mother, is multitasking. We have to just focus on the task, because even multitasking can really distract us. And when our kids are looking at us, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so busy. Oh my God, he's so busy. Like, so let's slow down. Let's slow down, smell the coffee, slow down, light a candle, have a beautiful plant in the center of your dining room table, play some music, sit down and jam out. Like, one time I made Italian. I made an Italian dish, and I turned on some Italian music. And my 1-year-old son was sitting there dancing, like eating his food. And I need to incorporate that even more, because our lives have been so busy. I really have been focused on getting organized and just getting myself together as a single mother. Okay, like, so yeah. Like, take the time out and just enjoy the company that you're in. And one thing I love to do, I love to have fun with my son. Like, I remember in the middle of the winter, matter of fact, twice this winter, we had a warm day. And I'm like, hey, buddy, like, hey, babe, like, you want to go to the zoo? Like, let's go. He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's like 69 degrees. Let's go. You know, being spontaneous and just having a lot of fun, or even going on a walk, or even gardening. Like, I'm about to get him a whole gardening tool set with the gloves, with the shovel. That way that he can help me out, you know, with gardening. And we love to go to the greenhouse And one thing I love doing is traveling with him. We went to the Bahamas and to Miami, and he was just like another grown person on a trip. It was amazing. Like, he fell asleep on a plane, and I was looking at him like, mommy is nervous about being on a plane. Like, what? So he's really courageous. I love that about my son. And just have the conversation with your kids. Like, how do you feel, when you're around me, and how do you feel in the environment you're in, and what can we do to make our home, our sanctuary, more comfortable? So if you really enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up or even a heart. And if you have any suggestions or any questions about this topic, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell because I upload videos every Wednesday and Friday. I'm trying to pick a day when I can go live as well too, honey, okay? And don't forget to follow me on TikTok at Mariah Lovemore and on Instagram at Mariah_Lovemore. And until next time, victorious ones, don't give up. See ya. The day my 4C hair grew past my shoulders, I knew I needed a little extra TLC. Introducing NAIJA Growth Elixir, an all-natural blended formula with essential oils that grows your hair, whether in a curly state or tamed, combats itching and dandruff, stimulates hair follicles, moisturizes hair so you can retain length. Just apply on your scalp, hair, locks, and guys, don't forget about your beards. Great for at-home, salons, and barbershops. To receive 10% off, visit our website at www.naijabeautyproducts.com.